You're going above and beyond.
So Zohran Mamdani went on Flagrant, Andrew Schulz podcast the other day, and he charmed the tits off of the whole dang panel. Everybody was laughing their asses off, basically nonstop. And I'm a little bit confused or perplexed by, the Andrew Schulz dynamic. And the reason being is, you get yourself involved in politics. And as you guys will see, this interview is so buddy, like he's completely on Zohran's side, 100%. They agree on everything, like everything Zohran has to say. He's like, I agree with that. I think that's a great idea. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. I don't understand how you're going to have a self-proclaimed socialist in Zohran Mamdani on your podcast, and pretend that you're like some kind of serious political thinker now. You're dipping your toes into politics more and more. You had Trump on your podcast, and he jokes about how people say that he got Trump elected. Well, that whole ecosystem really did a major role, the cherry on top being Rogan's podcast at the end of it all, in getting Donald Trump elected. And you have Trump on your podcast, who is the polar opposite, through and through authoritarian, far-right fascist, if we're being honest, absolute lunatic, deranged fucking freak, Donald Trump. And you have him on and you do the same patty cake style interview with him as you do with Zohran Mamdani. So my question is, who are you, Andrew Schulz? What is your whole point? What the fuck do you believe in? Because you can't have a fascist on your podcast and then 6 months later have a socialist on your podcast and then treat everything and then agree with everything that both candidates say without any pushback. So again, I just don't understand what his I guess it's just like farming clicks at the end of the day, but I just don't understand like what his moral or political compass is. I don't know what he does or what he is anymore. So that part confounds me. Anyway, that being said, let's get into this clip here where you have Zohran Mamdani just charming everybody, and he has a couple of shots here at Bill Ackman.
The idea that like New Yorkers are going to flee because of a 2% increase, it's like, I've been everywhere else. You're not going anywhere. Bill Ackman's not going nowhere. He's going to be in the Hamptons all fucking
There's
summer.
only one place to write those tweets.
That's it.
New York City.
Exactly.
Every character you want.
AC goes out in July in Miami. You sweating writing tweets? There's
He's
no way.
spending more money against me than I would even tax him. Every day it's like $1 million. It's like $1 million. I'm like, Habibi, I don't even want that. You're going above and beyond.
Okay, but
I love it. Calling out Bill Ackman directly. And look, Bill Ackman is a fucking smear merchant billionaire who thinks he is way smarter than he really is, loves to sniff his own farts. And he just is absolutely terrified of Zohran Mamdani. A lot of people are terrified of Zohran. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but they're terrified of Zohran Mamdani. Bill Ackman is terrified of Zohran Mamdani because he's going to raise his taxes by, 1% or something. Big fucking deal. He's got more money than he knows what to do with, more money than he could spend in, probably 100 lifetimes or more. And he is doing everything he can. Like Zohran says, he's spending more money on the election than he would have in the tax hike that he would be seeing. And it just goes to show you that these people, these billionaires are actually a bunch of fucking dweebs and morons a lot of the time. So,
freeze rents. Well, number one, you can only freeze rents on 1 million, maybe apartments, not the other, 25% of the housing stock, not the other 75% of the housing stock. We've got 50,000 apartments that sit vacant because the owner can't economically afford to renovate them because they can't earn a return on the incremental capital they put in. If you look at places like Argentina, which deregulated, rent control, rents come down because supply comes back into the market.
I absolutely love that. I don't know why they fucking. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. You're going to use Argentina as an example of economic prosperity. They are a complete disaster right now. They would be underwater if not for a $25 billion lifeline that Trump just wired to them from the fucking treasury. Javier Milei, who is a far right-wing lunatic libertarian, is destroying the economy. He's absolutely imploding the economy. And the only way they are able to get afloat is by bailouts. Literally, you and I are bailing out the Argentinian economy. We're bailing out these absolute losers that don't know how to manage their own countries. And Bill Ackman is using that as an example of somehow a success story to say, no, we can't have Zohran Mamdani because look, the opposite is what happens in Argentina, and look how successful Argentina has been. Give me a fucking break. These people are frauds. They're hacks. They fail their way to the top. They get handouts from the government themselves, way more than they would care to admit. And I just can't stand it. So there you have it. A little bit of back and forth with Zohran and the Flagrant podcast. Bill Ackman giving his, stupid 2 cents or whatever. Let me know what you guys think about the whole dynamic as it comes to a fever pitch with the election right around the corner. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.